even though there are multiple cars on the road, they will have to find a way to get the ambulance past. So we have two forms of software programs in a network. There is a small network or whatever. So we have network applications and we have application layer services. So the software programs that are used to communicate over the network are network applications, and application layer service are others that are used that needs assistance of application layer service to use network resources such as a transfer or network print spooling. So these are most likely one can say user interactive applications. So each application or network service use protocols which will define the standards and data formats. So these are the common protocols and we discussed them previously, DNS and DHCP. So like I said, I will not be wasting much time on. So video and voice applications, you can have many different ones. So like you have the Cisco telepresence, you have the WebEx, you have Zoom and so on and so forth. So all of these are video and voice, even WhatsApp, I think. So in IP telephony, you also have a voice communication or application that you can use, so you can have a real-time voice communication if you watch some movies like Jack Bauer. So you can see that they use IP telephones, and also I think I will also show you guys how to configure IP telephone for voice communication within a company. Okay, so we have real-time applications. The network must be able to support applications that require delay sensitive delivery. So we have this reliable time transport protocol that will help in those kind of things. So we have small network growth. So when you have a small network, you have to start thinking like this network will grow in a time period. So you cannot just say, okay, my network is small, and then you decide everything according to that small network. Now you have to think about the future. So maybe if the network will grow, what would you do? So you have to provide room for that. You have to provide room for growth whenever you are designing a network. So that's why we have here scale. So scalability here means network that can grow, that can expand. So whenever you are doing that, when you want to provide a network that will scale, you need to provide network documentation and device inventory, budgets, and traffic analysis. So all of these will help in to make sure that next when you want to improve or enhance your network, you will know what to do with it. So protocol analysis. These are good because they are tools that can be used to see how your traffic is going, and it will also analyze everything that is in your network to tell you, and you will know where you have a peak utilization. That is, you will know. For instance, the peak for utilization here is, for instance, we say the Kairaba Avenue Road, when you're coming in the morning towards Kairaba, when you're going towards traffic light, you have a peak utilization time, because at that time everybody is going to work around that side, so traffic will be seriously compact. So that's what they mean by peak utilization time. So we also have employee network utilization. So that one you will use some applications to show you how network is being utilized and stuff like that. So you can use all that. So network security, we move. So they have different types of network threats or complications in the network. So some of the threats we have is information theft, identity theft. We have data loss and manipulation. We also have disruption of service, or some call it denial of service. So a computer network are essential to everyday activities. So individuals and organizations depend on their computers, and now also intrusion by an unauthorized person can result in costly network outages and loss of work. So in order for you to avoid these attacks, so one will have to do certain things. So but all of these are attacks that can occur in a network. So information theft occurs when someone breaks into a computer for purpose of stealing confidential information. So that can happen, obviously. I can use your computer. Let's say, for instance, you move from your desk. I can sit right there and try to steal something from your device, and then crash it from your device, and then you may get fired for that. So data loss and manipulation. This happens most of the time when hackers can get into your can gain access to your device. Maybe most of the time these dark hackers can have access to your device, and then they get whatever is valuable, and then have your hard drive crash. So we also have identity theft, a form of information theft where personal information is stolen. So maybe I can use your credit card to go and then withdraw some money. So you steal somebody's identity card. Like somebody was saying that if you go to photocopy and they say that one of the copy is not good, you have to take it back, because they say people can take those copies and then go and acquire a SIM card and then do some fraudulent acts, and then you may be involved in that when you don't even know. So disruption of service is, for instance, you use a person's computer, you change, maybe you can change it. This can even happen with mobile phone. For instance, you can take my mobile phone as a friend, and then you know my pattern, you know my pin. You can just use it to open my phone, and then when you're done, you change the phone password to something that I don't know, and then you return it back to me. So whenever I want to have access, I cannot. Or hackers can do this. They can send bogus information to your device until it becomes overwhelmed and that it cannot receive any longer. That is also a disruption of service. So we have physical security. To avoid that, you just need to be very careful. There are 4 classes of physical threat. We have hardware threats, when a person can come and have physical access to your device and give it problem, or environmental threats, when you don't have some cooling systems in where your switches or routers will be. And we have electrical threats, where you can have power outages and outages and stuff like that, blackouts or whatever, brownouts and stuff like that. We have some voltage issues. Maintenance threats also, poor handling of key electrical components also can cause some of those threats. So we have different vulnerabilities that are available with our network. So we have 3 primary vulnerabilities. We have technological vulnerabilities, configuration, and security policies. So technology, when you have your operating systems out of date. For instance, now we have so many companies that I know that are still using Windows XP, something that Microsoft has stopped supporting for a very long time. So that you have a technological issue. So configuration, you don't secure some of your accounts, you don't secure some of your ports and whatever. You don't use access control lists, you don't use port security and stuff like that. That's also a vulnerability. Security policy, lack of routine security. You don't tell who should enter where, who should do what, and you don't have any of those policies. That's also vulnerabilities of the network. So we have types. We have different types of malware. So and we have viruses. So a malware is a malcode, a sort of malicious software that is used to damage or disrupt or steal or inflict damage on data host or network. So these are most of the time available, or they're only a device can have these malwares when they are connected to the internet. So we have viruses, worms, and